Morning everyone. Welcome to the Commissioner session. So next we will be joined by Simon Tompkins, who is Manager of Programme Strategy, New and Future Audiences, appropriately, at ITV.
Hello. So I'm going to run through CITV, who we are, what we're looking for, and how to approach us with ideas. So here we have the ITV family. Each of the digital channels targets a very specific audience. CITV is a very important part of what ITV does to capture and to cater for all audiences. So we're serious about kids programmes. ITV continues with its weekend morning slot on the main channel, as well as all those numerous family shows which really appeal to kids. So far this year, ITV have the top 4 most watched programmes of the year for children. So it's the likes of Ninja Warrior, Britain's Got Talent, and Saturday Night Takeaway. Briefly, CITV's performance. So #1 commercial kids channel. Ratings up year on year, and on average, we reach 1.2 million children every week. So our tone of voice, we are cheeky and irreverent. That's a tone that we're really keen to run throughout everything that we do. British feel. We want to increase the amount of British content on the channel. Help us to stand out for many of our US-orientated competitors. So we have British children's voices in continuity. So there's an image here of Tilly and Noah, who do a lot of our continuity, and we've just started to put them on screen more. They are fronting our summer brand spot campaign, and it's just important to show more faces that are familiar to our audience and that they can relate to in both our programmes and our interstitials. We're not preschool. CITV is aimed at 6 to 12-year-olds. We aim and attract more boys and girls. However, we're not actively discouraging girls to the channel. For kids, by kids, that is CITV's motto. We ask the audience to interact and to feel that they are part of the channel. And a real key example of this is Share a Story, our competition each year, where we ask the audience to submit their short stories, and then the winners are turned into animations and shown on the channel. It's triple BAFTA winning, interesting, unique, and we're very proud of it. Another example is when we had a channel rebrand not so long ago. We asked the audience to send in their artwork. The winners were then turned into idents and shown on the channel. That initiative was called See Things. Here's some examples. And again, it just acts as another access point for the viewer. I'm now going to show a short show reel, which will showcase CITV's position as being a channel for kids, by kids.
TV is changing, and it's the kids of today who are leading the change. CITV is changing right along with us, because it's a channel for kids, by kids. More than just a schedule of shows, CITV is now a channel we can shape, change, and influence as easily as a Minecraft level, all backed up by amazing shows. So let's take a look. Thunderbirds Are Go remains CITV's most explosive exclusive.
This is Thunderbird 1. It's a fast response craft.
And with features that take you behind the action and show you more of the Tracy Brothers world, kids think Thunderbirds Are Go is just FAB.
Share a Story!
Now in its 7th year, CITV's triple BAFTA winning competition Share a Story is getting stronger than ever. From online videos giving kids tips and tricks, to celebrating success with the winners and their families at an exclusive premiere screening. And it's not just Share a Story. We kids can take control of almost everything on CITV, even the idents. Make CITV yours. Let's kids send in selfies that are turned into break bumpers. Backed by a campaign reminding kids that they can watch CITV on the go through the ITV Hub.
CITV Online.
on demand, and on your telly. Make CITV yours this summer.
From great new shows to exciting ways to watch, CITV is a channel for the future. A channel where kids can be in control. A channel that follows you everywhere. A true 21st century channel that's always available. CITV. A channel at the heart of a kid's day.
Just not a feeling.
So that's who we are. So what are we looking for? So our budget has held steady. We have more slots available than we have for a while, and there are opportunities available in a number of areas. So original commissions, co-productions, and acquisitions, with a few examples of content there. So we have ambitions in live action. We are looking for both scripted and non-scripted live action. So for scripted, we'd love a show which really showcases UK talent. We will never fully fund scripted shows. It would need to be a co-production, so that can be either an international partner or a paid TV partner within this market. We have ambition to deliver quality programs with scale, so this does mean partnerships. Non-scripted, we're looking for projects which would be brand defining for CITV. Areas of particular interest would be physical challenge shows. That's a genre we've had success with in the past. So think Fort Boyard or Bear Grylls. And also make and do art and craft type shows. So these are both areas where we can get more British kids on screen and just something really interactive where the kids can get involved. So who to contact? So commissions, send treatments, Bibles, sizzle reels, what you've got, to myself and Paul Mortimer, who's the head of digital channels. So that's via email. Or alternatively, if you have an established relationship with one of our genre commissioners and your programme is relevant to their area, please get in contact with them via email. Because CITV now has more human resource through using commissioners from a range of genres. So if your commission was greenlit, then you'd be allocated a genre specialist. So for an entertainment show, you'd have the benefit of working with an entertainment specialist from the UK's biggest commercial broadcaster. And for acquisitions, please get in contact via email with Darren Narty, who is our acquisitions executive. So kind of what we're looking for, in particular for CITV, with pitching and approaches, worked up treatments that are relevant to CITV and our audience. Just don't want a few lines in an email. We need something more substantial, something that really helps to bring the vision to life. For animation, we ideally like to see some artwork and just demonstrate how it's relevant to CITV, make it personal to us. How would that particular programme sit comfortably within our current programme mix? Don't pitch preschool ideas. As I said, we're looking for 6 to 12, so all ideas need to fit within that age range. Preschool ideas don't really get past the front door. Clear idea of the budget, so by that I just mean be clear on how much you're looking for us to contribute. Scripted, be great to have at least one script for us to look at and a co-partner attached, have a producer attached, and finally suggest potential talent. That just really helps us to envisage what the show would look like on air and the amount of appeal it would hold for our audience. So that in a nutshell is CITV, a channel for kids by kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Let's dig into that piece about drama a little bit more, because that's challenging and expensive, but clearly something you want to do. How far down the track have you started people pitching you already in that respect, or is this kind of something at an earlier stage in terms of an ambition?
It's relatively early stages. There are some ideas that are on our radar. yeah, we're very, very open for ideas to come in. So yeah, it'd be great to have a brand-defining scripted piece on the channel. So looking back, My Parents Are Aliens, that was brand-defining for ITV. So yep, a show that would sit so comfortably on CITV, 6 to 12s, yep, we'd love to have that showcase there on CITV.
And you say that in terms of putting the funding piece together, it will be a co-production because drama is expensive.
Yes.
But could it also have a UK partner? It'd be unusual to see you partnering with, Cartoon or Nick or someone on a UK co-production, or are you saying that that's a possibility?
That is very much a possibility. We do UK co-productions, with paid TV partners. So, no, that is a possibility.
And are you looking for drama? Are you looking for original ideas, or stuff that might be based on existing IP? Do you want something that's going to, what we see with kind of grown-up drama, if you want, is often nowadays it has to punch through by being based on an existing book, piece of material?
We're open, either or. We're not committed to either because it's early stages yet. So just excited to see what's out there. But a creative, original idea that doesn't already have roots somewhere else would be very much welcome.
And tell us about Scrambled, because I understand that you have, or you would like to have that as a brand extend in new and interesting ways.
We're very proud of Scrambled, so that plays on ITV, weekend mornings. It's a simcast on CITV. It's great to get some presenter-led content. That's something we would very much like to have more on the channel going forward. So Scrambled's currently weekend mornings, but we are exploring ways of extending the brand to extend it beyond just weekend mornings and see what we can do. Perhaps get those presenters out the studio. It all helps with the British feel of the channel and getting kids to interact.
And then, obviously, it's always interesting and useful when you can see who to contact at a given broadcaster or a platform. But there have been a lot of changes at ITV between this time this year and this time last year.
Yes.
I mean, what's the material impact in terms of how much you have to spend and, broadly, your commitment and ambitions to kids' TV?
As I said, the budgets have held steady. We're very much open for business. We're looking forward to ideas coming in and to see what direction CITV will go over the next year or so. We have, as I said before, commissioners across the board involved now. So, everyone's very much passionate about kids' TV and in particular CITV and what we can do with it going forward. And
if you're a producer and come through your doors, or send an email, I guess, and have something that is picked, you will then allocate that to an appropriate commissioner who's not a kids specialist, but kind of is part of the broader commissioning team. So it could be the entertainment team, could be factual. So that's going to be a different way of working, isn't it, with the production community? Yes,
that is a new way for CITV, but we're very, very excited about that. A lot of our commissioners have got a broad range of experience. Many of them, that experience includes children's. So, it's an exciting new way of working at CITV. It's already working well. So, I
guess without a dedicated kids commissioner, and one producer said this to me the other day, it doesn't necessarily feel like there's anyone championing kids TV within ITV.
Oh, there's a core group of CITV champions who have been working on CITV, so that'd be the schedulers. It's a core team who, love the channel and are the real points of contact at the early stages of getting the ideas through, talking about what direction the channel's going in. So there's myself, there's Paul Mortimer, there's Darren, our acquisitions guy, Matt Bowen, who many of you probably know from our scheduling team. There's a real core group who do focus on children's.
Okay. Do we have a question or two for Simon?
Thank you. Just a bit more on the drama. I mean, obviously you don't want to be too prescriptive at this stage, but are you thinking, contemporary reflecting British life or more escapist sort of stuff? And in what kind of volume, realistically, do you feel you're going to be able to budget? Would this be, one drama commission per year, or if you got the right funding partners, would you be able to do several?
So we are looking for a scripted piece. So I don't want to be kind of too restricted to dramas. It could be a comedy drama, for example. But we are, at the moment, looking for one piece. That is the target at the moment. So, for example, it could be a spooky drama, could be a comedy drama. We are very open. Again, I said about British feel, so it doesn't necessarily have to be contemporary. We're open to whatever wonderful creative ideas come through the door. But, as I said, we want to increase the amount of British content and that British feel. So to have kind of UK British talent on screen within that scripted piece would be fantastic.
And Simon, to pick that up in terms of volume, are you thinking about one big kind of flagship drama that's going to, fly the flag for the channel, or a number of projects?
At the moment, we're looking for one brand-defining project.
And how many episodes would that typically be to fit your schedules?
It would depend on the scale of the particular project, so I couldn't commit at the moment to an exact kind of amount. But that, once we kind of start the discussions, we can see based on the scale of the project.
I think there's another question from that one.
Yeah, hi. So I'm sorry, it's me again, Howard Litton. It's just very interesting. I'm very passionate about this area, having quite a long time ago run Nick UK alongside Debbie, who's sitting next to me. And I wanted just to congratulate you on the look and feel of CITV. I think you've kind of captured a nice spirit of kids there, and clearly you're doing very well. But what I would say is, it feels to me, I've got no doubt that you and your team and the schedulers and the people who are involved within your team are very passionate. You can see that on the screen with the interstitials and things they're making. But it seems to me, and maybe only one person's going to say this, but the very, very senior management at ITV do not seem to have any passion for kids whatsoever. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that yourself, you don't have kids in your title. You don't have a kids person who's dedicated to kids. I think the idea that, in no other genre would you have, you would say, oh, drama, you just go and talk to somebody else now. And, kids is a very specific kind of skill set. I think that's very sad. Again, I'm not having a go at you, but I think ITV should quite frankly be ashamed of themselves, given the amount of airtime that you've got. It's no surprise that you get big ratings, because you've got a huge amount of coverage in the UK. I think my mum could probably run CITV and get big ratings, quite honestly. But, and I think, I'm sure you're very passionate, but do you think that with the new kind of Ofcom kind of oversight, and I think kids has been raised up sort of seriousness of what you're meant to be doing, do you foresee any time where senior management will champion kids and give you the support that you and your team clearly need to actually spend decent money and good money? And if you're talking about the BBC spending £130 million a year, I don't know what your standard stable budget is. Is it 5 million? Is it 3? Is it 2? It's certainly not in the area that the UK kid industry needs it to be. So do you think that senior management, and I'm talking about Adam Crozier and all those kind of guys, I'm not very hopeful, but do you think there's any kind of glints of light that you're going to see more support for you and your team and the spend and that the industry needs, so that the BBC's just not holding the fort on their own? Sorry, that was quite a bit of a ramble, but there we go.
I think there is real support at ITV. We do have the budgets there. We're actively commissioning, acquiring. The channel's doing great business. Some big brands have come out in recent years. Thunderbirds is a great example of that. And we are commissioning more, and that's part of our mission for kind of next year, to not have CITV quite so acquisition heavy. So we do want to invest more in commissions, and hopefully over the next year or so, these programmes will start appearing on screen to give CITV a real kind of British feel, and to show that we are kind of heavily invested and supportive of British children's content. And we are serious about kids. We are. We've had a restructure. It's still kind of early days. And yeah, we look forward to kind of what's going to happen going forward.
Simon, when you say more on commissioned programming, does that mean the pot is getting bigger, or you're changing the balance of commissioned and acquired programming?
Changing the balance. So some acquired pieces might have come to their natural shelf life. So that's an opportunity to explore more areas for commissions. So going forward, we would definitely like more commissioned content on the channel than we currently have. So that is the ambition going forward.
What is the budget for kids programming?
I can't go into exact budgeting at the moment, but yeah, we pay market rates, and there's investment there. There's opportunities.
Simon, thank you.
Great.
Presentation and a bit more.